Dr. Ivory Johnson had a major impact on my Kappa life. As an undergraduate, and Dr. Johnson being our province senior vice polmar, he always had a listening ear to undergrads. He always had words of wisdom for us. He was personally responsible for me submitting to be the College Student of the Year in 1979 and ultimately winning that competition. As my first job brought me to St. Louis, Missouri, Dr. Johnson made sure that I was actively involved in St. Louis alumni, and he got me started with Kappa League, and I was their Kappa League director, and he also gave me the opportunity to be the undergraduate advisor for Beta Nu. Dr. Johnson getting me involved in Kappa League and GuideRight, and being the undergraduate advisor for Beta Nu really created in me a lifetime commitment into being involved in GuideRight and being involved in undergraduate affairs. Dr. Johnson was an outstanding brother. He made a difference in many lives, including mine, and he will be missed.
I've been very fortunate in terms of serving in Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. So I've held positions since I was an undergrad. I was served as the undergraduate vice polemarch, served as dean of pledges as an undergraduate, and once I graduated and became a member of the alumni chapter, I had the very good fortune of serving in various positions there. Vice polemarch, St. Louis Alumni Chapter, polemarch of St. Louis Alumni Chapter, and of course one of my most what I suggest is one of my most outstanding positions was to serve as the GuideRight director for St. Louis Alumni Chapter, and did that for a number of years, and also served as the GuideRight director for the Middle Western Province. And after that, I was fortunate enough to be elected to serve as the vice polemarch of the Middle Western Province, and later on, I served as a polemarch of the Middle Western Province. And then, of course, very fortunate to be able to move on up to the high level and served on the Grand Board of Directors and served in various capacities. And also, once my tenure was up on the Grand Board, I was able to serve as on the various commissions, the Law Reef Commission, and I chaired the Law Reef Commission for a number of years. As a matter of fact, I've been on and off the Law Reef Commission, and currently I'm serving on the Law Reef Commission. I'm on the Law Reef Commission now, and with St. Louis Alumni Chapter, I'm still involved with GuideRight, serving on the GuideRight Foundation, which is the scholarship board, the philanthropic scholarship arm of the St. Louis Alumni Chapter. And of course, what our major focus is to provide scholarship for our graduating Kappa Leaguers. And also we provide scholarships to other young, worthy men and women in the community.
So I want to go back, because you can't gloss over all that. That's a major list of accomplishments, and I definitely want to congratulate you on all the service you provided to the fraternity and young men throughout the years.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Did Brother Boyd say you were the Diggs awardee?
Yes, I was very fortunate to receive the Diggs Award in 1977. So I was, I'm sorry, 1997.
I was about to say
1997.
I forgot.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to be.
So let's start from the top. Are you from Missouri?
I was born in the South, Mississippi, Oakland, Mississippi. I migrated to St. Louis when I was about 7 or 8 years of age, and went through the elementary, high school, and college public education system here. At one time, this Harris Stowe State University was Harris Teachers College. At that time, it was actually a sort of a public college. And so I graduated from Harris and was able to go on and do my graduate work here at St. Louis University. So I received a PhD in urban education here at St. Louis University.
So it's fair to say, Dr. Johnson, you have roots in this community, in this city.
Oh yes. I grew up in the city and went through the public school system, and I've been here, and had the very fortune of serving in various capacities with church-related organizations and of course the fraternity-related organizations.
So were you exposed to guide right or Kappa League as a youth?
No, of course as a youth I wasn't. There was no Kappa League. As a youth, I came up. Here again, I was fortunate enough to be involved with the sports, and so I grew up on, you might say, one of the elementary schools had a playground, summer playground, where I attended elementary school, and in the summer they would have a playground, so I would participate in the playground in the summer. During the winter, I participated in at the community center, local community centers, in basketball and other sports, and so very fortunate to have some outstanding elementary and high school teachers. In those days, the teachers were just outstanding. We had some outstanding male teachers, and of course, in that time, there were not a lot of opportunities for outstanding male men to get jobs in other arenas. So education was one of the things that was open to them, and I was very fortunate to receive the guidance from those outstanding teachers and educators.
So what year did you pledge?
I pledged in May. I pledged in '58, and I became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi in May of 1959.
May of '59.
Right.
Was that your first exposure to the fraternity in college?
That was my first exposure. I didn't know that much about fraternities. When one of my high school teachers, he was involved with fraternity, but he was a member of another fraternity, and he had encouraged the men of his organization that when I got to college to try to recruit me, ask them to recruit me to become a member. So I didn't pledge any organization my first year. So I pledged my second year, and based on my observations on the campus of Harris Teachers College at that time, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity men just impressed me with the things they were doing on campus, their leadership skills that they had, and many of them were leaders on the campus. So that attracted me to the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
So you were in the frat at least a decade before Kappa League was even founded.
Right.
So what was that like when it? Because I mean, I've never talked to anybody that was been around before Kappa League. So what was that like, seeing it come to fruition?
It was great. We were doing things in the community for young people prior to Kappa League. I said, based, going back to the concept that Leon Stewart, his concept of given guidance, and I think the key is guidance, not only guidance but guide right. And of course, he expressed a concern, and I think they would have just a general conversation, that as they looked at it, when young men graduated from high school, in many cases that was it. They had not did any thinking or any planning, and nobody gave them any guidance as where are you going from here? Now that you've graduated from high school, what are you going to do? And so they started the mentoring program, and they had conferences and interviewed the young men and so forth. And so we did things of that nature, and we had our activities. We would take groups of young men on picnics and things of that nature here in St. Louis. So we did things there, but we were just sort of just planning off the cuff. And when the concept, the model that Mel Davis shared with us in 1970 with the Kappa League concept, it was highly scripted. And I think mainly because Mel Davis had a theater background, so he was accustomed to things being having a script, so to speak. And so we had that. So all you had to do was take the Kappa League manual. If you followed the manual and used it, and then you adapted to your community and your resources, you couldn't go wrong. And so that was the biggest thing that we were just so happy for. It was very structured, and we were able to do that.
So what was it like, I guess, being from the city of Guy-Ray and seeing Kappa League come around, to see those two programs kind of coincide?
It was sort of God sent, because it gave us, not only what we were doing in our own small community, and also we were able to, once we got the Kappa League program set up, we were able to share with and receive suggestions and share what we were doing, what they were doing. I remember, I don't know if you heard of Jay Crosby. He was an outstanding guide right director, especially with the Kappa League program. He became the national director of guide right. I served on his commission at the Grand Chapel level, guide right. And one of the things we did, we were fortunate enough, he invited us to visit his Kappa League program in Dayton. So we would take some Kappa Leaguers from St. Louis to Dayton and participate in some of their activities, and participate especially in their botillion that they had. And so we modeled ours after theirs, and so we would share experiences there. So that was it. And then of course it moved on to the Grand Chapter, where you had not just what you did at the local level, you had something to work with the young men on, to prepare them with their career choices, their talents and things of that nature, and then they participated in the Student of the Year contest. We were very fortunate in St. Louis, when I was a guide right director, to have 3 national Student of the Year winners from St. Louis, from the St. Louis high schools in the national competition.
So what was it like to ascend from the provincial level? Because you were the guide right national director as well. Correct? Not national.
No, I was a guide right director. I was on the guide right commission for the national, but not the director.
What years did you serve on that?
I want to say, let's see.
Whose chairmanship was
I was under Brother Jay Crosby. He was the chair of the commission. I served on the commission during the tenure. He was the chair.
So what was that like? Just, I guess, working on that national stage, going from the regional level.
It was great, and it gave me the opportunity to see what occurred at the national level, and also gave me the opportunity to take things back to my local chapter, and also to the province, Middle Western province, and it kept us attempting to make sure that we had participation. One of the challenges we had is that we didn't have any problem in getting the young high school men to participate in the National Student of the Year activities or competition, but it was kind of difficult to get our undergraduate brothers. That was a category for them. As a matter of fact, our current director of guide right, Bert Burnett, I was a guide right director for Middle Western Province, and I cajoled him to be one of the contestants one year, and lo and behold, he was one of the winners as a student of the year.
Wow, that's cyclical, because now he's on the national level working in that same capacity.
Right.
So, being from the city, or not born, but raised in the city, what's it like knowing these young men are coming back here to celebrate 100 years of this program?
It's just heartwarming. I can recall some of the young men that at that time, for the most part, all of our Kappa League was from the inner city of St. Louis, and outstanding young men. It's just that their parents didn't have the resources to give them opportunities to develop their leadership skills and their talents. And so they couldn't send them beyond their borders. So the young men didn't get a chance to go out of St. Louis, didn't get a chance to visit colleges. And that was one of the things we were able to do when we got them in the Kappa League program. We were able to get resources and share those resources with them. And we took them to us province meetings, and then of course national meetings, and then we took them to visit college campuses and things of that nature. And then to see the number of, I was telling Brother Burnett and Brother Sam Boyd last night, looked at the auditorium full of young men, Kappa Leaguers from all throughout the nation. That was just heartwarming, very heartwarming.
Why do you think this program has been able to endure and exceed throughout the 100 years of existence?
I think because of the focus. The focus is on youth, young men, and I think that that's one of the common denominators in almost any arena, that you can get individuals from different background, different persuasions to come together on, is for the benefit of the youth. Aside from Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, I had through my church, we partnered with a Jewish congregation to set up a mentoring program in an elementary school, and that they were Jews, we were Presbyterians, but the common denominator, we were going to do something for youth, and so we came together. So I think because the youth is a common denominator, I think that's it. Brothers, and you can get support when you're asking resources for youth. You're going to get support, regardless of the politics, the political arena. That's one thing that individuals of different political persuasions will come together for the youth, for the good of youth.
So, final question: What do you see next? How do you see us? Where do you see us going next after 100 years?
I think that to do what we've done up to these 100 years, we've always been able to tailor what we're doing, although we have the base. And I think that was it. We had an outstanding base. The Kappa League concept as a base was great, but it doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing that Mel Davis prescribed back in when he developed. If you did, you would lose the young men, because you have to do things that's going to meet their needs in today's society, and also it has to be something that's going to move them forward in the society as it is of today. And so I think that's what we have to do. We have to keep on our toes, and I think the guide right directors, the guide right people, the individuals that are in guide right now, the directors for the various cities. I know here in St. Louis, and we've had turnovers down through the years, but they always seem to do something a little different, and it's a little higher. Yeah, and a person of mine, I've been fortunate to be around to just sit and observe for a number of I've seen the transitions, and I've always seen something going higher and higher.